Priorities. As a general rule, I'll get initial resistance, especially those from the Christian community, but bear with me for a second. Please take an open mind to what I'm going to share with you. I've been taught since I was knee-high to a grasshopper that God is first, my neighbor is second, and I am third. Gail Sayers wrote a book called I Am Third. I will respectfully disagree with that mindset, and I will respectfully disagree with organized churches who teach that you are last, and here's the reason why. And there's a scripture in there that helps support where I'm going to go with this. It says, when you have found yourself, lose yourself. Well, here's where I went with it. If this is me, and this is a pen, but if this is me, I have to first find myself to lose myself, right? I can't lose that pen if I've never owned the pen. So in order for me to have a priority of a relationship with a higher power or God, or for me to have a relationship with my neighbor or my wife or my children, I have to have me in a position that can have that relationship. In an addictive state, your agency is suspended. I will cover that in greater detail later. But if I'm an alcoholic and I'm spending my money, I'm compromising my wife, we're missing the mortgage, we can't buy food for our children, how am I supposed to prioritize God and my wife? I don't even have me organized. I'm fragmented. I'm not even functioning. I have to get me fixed first. When you fly in an airline, it's as simple as when the oxygen mask drops, you put it on you first. Why? Because being dead isn't going to allow you to put the oxygen mask on your child or a neighbor. You cannot lose yourself until you find yourself. I'm suggesting your number one priority is to find yourself so you can lose yourself. So it goes this way. Notice in the screen, self, you are number one. If you connect with you, upstairs, downstairs, then you can connect with your higher power. If you connect with your higher power, the closer you get to yourself, the closer you get to your higher power. The closer you get to the higher power, the closer you get to your spouse. You can continue it. Then the closer you get to your spouse, the closer to your children, your work, and or your community. The priority is critical. I've met, seen, observed, and coached. I'm just going to use mothers for an example. Picture a mother of 4, very rambunctious children, overweight, sleepless, her health is declining, she's just frustrated and frazzled. And then her church leaders come up and say, okay, you need to do this assignment, you need to help, Sister Smith over here or Mr. Brown over here, you need to do this. And she's barely keeping herself afloat. She's offered to go to classes to get herself organized, but she doesn't have time because the children are more important. I hope you're seeing what I'm trying to describe here. She's not prioritizing herself. She's not getting sufficient rest. She's probably not eating healthy. She's not getting any energy. How is she supposed to go and lose herself? Because she'll not only lose herself, but she'll literally lose. There is no such thing as rock bottom, by the way. People just don't all of a sudden hit a level and turn around. Otherwise, there would be no suicides. Let's just say you are that mother of 4, or you're feeling depressed or anxious, or you're overweight. Until you learn how to implement good habits in your life by creating a narrative on the inside, you will never change. You cannot lose something you don't have. Now, here's one other thought that I have. I organized the model in this way. Look at numbers 1, 2, and 3. At some point in time, you're going to be an empty nester. If all you've ever done is taking care of your children, or you're a workaholic, and I see both of them, and sometimes in the same family, when those children are gone and you're retired, you've now got an invisible divorce on your hands because you never connected with any emotional intimacy during the formative years. You may live in the same home, but you don't know each other. And you don't even know yourself because you've lived an identity of being a mother and or a career person. That's not healthy. That's why it's so important, even imperative, that you learn to connect with self first, learn how to start incrementally building these little habits. Deliberately practice being happy. Learn what that means, and I will cover that. But learn what it means to practice being happy. Learn what it means to practice being a happy spouse, a parent. Learn how to parent. And don't go just to the neighbors or a YouTube video. Literally learn what it means based on principles to create an arena, a space, the foxhole for your children to grow up in, because you're modeling those principles for them. All right, priorities. You are first. When you find yourself, you can lose yourself. Connect with your God, your loved ones, your spouse, your significant other, your children, and your society. That's so important. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.